I'm Joshua Harris, a licensed insolvency trustee in Toronto, Canada. And for this week's trustee tip, I'm going to talk to you about rebuilding your credit after filing a consumer proposal or a bankruptcy. People always ask me this question: Josh, what's the fastest way to rebuild my credit? Well, first and foremost, we don't want you to rebuild your credit too quickly. I know that's not what you want to hear, but the fact is, if you rebuild your credit too quickly, you're probably going to spiral out of control and end up in our office again. And we don't want to see that. We want to see you grow and build and learn to not file another insolvency. Now, that being said, in a year like 2020, it's very important to have credit. So to rebuild that credit, we want to talk about good credit habits. Good credit habits include paying off your credit at the end of each month or at the end of each payment period. But how are you going to get that credit? Well, there's a few different ways. We always say to start with a secured credit card. A secured credit card is a credit card in which you put a deposit down with the credit company, and if you fail to make your payments at the end of the payment period, they pay your bill for you with that deposit. Most of these credit companies, including major banks, will release that security to you after a few months or within a year, and make it an unsecured credit card that will allow you to spend more money and build up greater credit. That being said, the most important thing about a secured credit card is that it does report to the credit reporting agencies like Equifax and TransUnion. This is unlike a prepaid credit card. So a prepaid credit card is where you put money towards a card and then you can deplete that money over time. Then you have to refresh it and fill it up with more money, and then you can spend more. We are not recommending a prepaid credit card. That does not report to the credit agency at all. You want to get a secured credit card. The other thing you can do is pay your utilities on time. Not your average utility like Enbridge or Hydro. It's more important that you pay utilities like cable and internet and phone bills, or even car financing. Car financing does report to the credit bureau. So you have to think to yourself before you take an action, is this going to be reported to the credit bureau? Secured credit cards, unsecured credit cards, phone bills, cable, vehicles, those report. Things that don't report are rent, prepaid credit cards, and other utilities like gas and hydro. So you want to make sure that everything you do is reporting to the agency. Now, there are a few companies out there that will say to you, you pay us over time and we'll report it to the credit agency, and at the end, we'll give you some money back. Most trustees in Canada are not going to support that type of product. The reason is because you pay a lot of money for what they so-called loan, but you never actually get the money. At the end, they give you a small sum, but the fact is they're charging you a huge fee to report to the credit agency that you're making your payments on time. You could do the exact same thing with a secured credit card with no fees at all, and you can go and fill up your gas or buy groceries, and as long as you pay your bill at the end of that payment period, you're going to rebuild your credit. I hope these tips about rebuilding your credit have been helpful. And don't forget, if you ever have any questions about rebuilding your credit or about getting rid of bad debt, you can reach out to any of our certified insolvency counselors or our trustees or administrators at any of our locations. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video to get more trustee tips on a weekly basis.